one example, like, when I was driving on my way here, if I was like with a waverly mind that if this road is going to take me to the Valpi center or no, then would I be able to get here? No, I'll keep on changing my path. Yeah? So that faith that we all need to understand and we all need to develop. Now, that faith doesn't mean it has to be Jainism. Something that is, I'm going to go through everything like that what is going to lead us to the right faith. As I said, it is already there, but it's covered. Yeah? So that's the reason I've chosen this sutra. And if we, when we all do pratikraman, there is this atichar. We do main pratikraman, like 6 avashyak, but one of them is pratikraman, 4th one. And there, when we are saying all the atichar, we say darshana atichar. Yeah? So there is this sutra that is in this pratikraman sutra, like, when we do it with Samniji, the sutra is there. Now we all don't know the real meaning of it. So that's the reason I've chosen. Yes? So, and I'm going to follow it by this sutra by Upadhyaya Amarmuni. He has written it in a bit more in detail. Yeah? So the sutra is, I'm going to say it once, and then if you all can pronounce with me. When we say, now very important, when you read it in English, it's na. But if you all can pronounce ana, instead of like, when we say nara, ara, that ara is not exactly as na. Yeah? So, arhanto mahadevo javat jivam susahono guruno jina pannatam tattam iya sammatam maegahiyam. As we all say, the right pronunciation is very, very important. Okay? So, can we all say it together? And then any of you find it difficult in pronouncing, then please do ask. Arhanto Mahadevo Javat Jivam Susahuno Guruno Jina Parnatam Tatatam Iyasammatam Mae Gahiyam. Any words that you find difficult? The only one I would say is ana. Always remember, even when we say namo arihanta anam, which is very important, try not to pronounce nam, not arhanta, nam, but anam. Yeah? So, this is, let's look at the meaning of it. Arhanto is Arhant Bhagwan, Maha, that is our my, Devo, gods, Javachye, for entire life, Susahuno, virtuous monks, Guru no teachers, Jinapannatam, the reality as propounded by Jinas, Tattam Dharma, ye, this Sammatam, right reason, may, that is I, Gahiyam, adopted. If you keep on reading these words, automatically the meaning will come to you. Yeah? Because some of the words are like we use them in day-to-day life. Yeah? Okay. So now the actual meaning of it, the Arhantas are my God, the virtuous monks are my gurus, the reality as propounded by Jinas who have transcended the shackles of attachment and aversion is my dharma. I adopt this vow of right reason for life. As I said, right reason is very, very important. Okay? Now, here also the words like arhantas, those words are used, but as we go a little further, you will know it hasn't talked about only Jainism. Wherever you find the right God, wherever you find right Guru, wherever you find right Dharma, that should be your faith. Yes? Now, this Samyaktva Sutra is a very foundation. As I said, until we do not develop the right faith, there is no way we can go further. Yeah? So, it has auspicious soul. And say I'm doing fasting, I'm doing everything, yeah, any religious activities I am doing, but until I do not have the faith that this is going to take me. Sometimes we do fasting. We do fasting because somebody did 3, somebody did 4, somebody did 8. Do we know the real reason behind it? That is important. We must know the real reason behind it. Try and develop within you. Okay, when I am not fasting, is my mind going towards near my soul or no? Because that is the whole aim. You want to realize your own soul. Fasting is not because somebody has done it. Bhagwan Mahavir has done it. Some, like we say, the first Tirthankar's mother, Trishla Maridevi Mata, she didn't fast. She didn't fast as much as Mahavir Bhagwan or Rishabdev Bhagwan, but she still realized her soul. Yeah? So that's what it is. Samyaktva is a very foundation of Jainism. We must develop the faith. It helps the auspicious soul to emerge from darkness of ignorance and move towards the light of self-knowledge. Remember, any religious activity we do, it is to realize our own soul. Yeah? It is the base of foundation of all the sadhanas. So any sadhanas that we do, we must realize that what we are doing it for. And if the faith is not followed, then all the religious persons are considered actions of ignorance. As I was telling you, whatever we do, if we are just following, then it is just a copy. It's not going to take us anywhere. Yeah? As they increase the shackles of worldly, and what happens? We do fasting. Of course, we do fasting without realizing it is not going to go in vain. It is going to bind you some punya karma. And we always say, if you want to achieve nirvana, if you want to achieve moksha, we don't want punya karma, we don't want pap karma. Yeah? So it is not going to go in vain. But it is not going to take you to the place you want to be. Yeah? Okay? So let's go on to the next one. This is the primacy of the right reason. Why do we have to have the right reason? Okay? So it's without the right faith, any extent of practical conduct has no meaning. It's like, we have lots of zeros. But if there is no figure before it, does that mean anything? No, it doesn't. It is exactly the same. Whatever practices we do, until we do not have the faith that I am doing this because it is going to take me somewhere on my path, it is going to take me to moksha. That's the reason. Yeah? And then, the whole thing has been talked by Lord Mahavira in his last preaching. It was at Pavapuri, which is written in Uttaradiyan Sutra, chapter number 28, slok number 30, and it is it's like it's self-explanatory, okay? Nana dansani sananam, nanena vinana hunti charana guna, agunisa nati mokho, nati amokho sa nirvanam. So nanan dansani sananam. Until we do not have the right faith, we are not going to get the right knowledge. Okay? Until we do not have the right knowledge, which is nanena vinana hunti charana gunam. Until we don't have the right knowledge, we are not going to put it in practice. So no, without we cannot achieve the right conduct. And agunisanati mokho. Until we do not have the right conduct, we do not attain emancipation, and one without emancipation cannot achieve moksha or cannot achieve nirvana. Okay? So let's move on to the next one. Like 3 steps. So to realize this, I have separated it in 3 states of soul. We all have external soul, inner self, and supreme self, which is Bahiratma, Antaratma, and Paramatma. So until we are in Bahiratma, we do not have the right faith. We listen sometimes, and say, oh, yeah, whatever. That's our attitude, yeah? So until we are in Bahir Atma, we are not drawn towards the right path of dharma. Yeah? Now, what happens, and that is due to our mithyatva monia karmas. Yeah? We have so much karmas bound, and especially mithyatva, that is wrong faith. Everything we believe which is wrong is right, and what is right we believe is wrong. And that is mithyatva monia karma. And due to decline, and then we go in, as those karmas are being shredded, not totally, but partially, and then we come into antaratma. So due to decline of of vision diluting karmas, that is so here the two words that I've used, kshayopsham or destruction and subsidence of karmic matter. So some mithyatva monia karma gets destroyed. Sometimes with our effort we can just we can come over them, yes, and then that is the time we find the right faith. So that is the state which is inner self, and once we are there, path is so much clearer and faster. Okay, because then while those monia karmas are sleeping, sometimes sleeping or they are destructed, then at that time we realize the right faith and we start following the path. And then we come to the Supreme Self, which is Paramatma, which Jainism believes in, that your own soul is only Paramatma. Yeah? And that is when you realize your soul and you go, that's Nirvana. Then there is no life and death for you. Yeah? So you've achieved moksha. Now, you know this thing, I don't know how many of you are aware of 14 stages that are explained in Jainism. You should know it, right? Yeah? Yeah. So these are the, like, you know, it's just the self-evolution. You always want to sort of think to yourself, where I am. Yes? So from like 1 to 3 is compared to Vahiratma, as we discussed. Okay? And so 1, 2, 3, everything, as you can see in the picture, look, they find everything just not right. Whatever is mine.
Yes.
Oh gosh, sorry about that. It will stop. Okay, so 1 to 3 is Vahiratma. At that time, we just do not have the right faith. Okay, then we go on to number 4. That is the first state of antaratma, right vision. There is some sparkle. There is some sparkle that we think this is the right path for me. Yeah? And then once you're onto the 4th one, then it's just going up and up. The 5th one, the state of the true Shravak. That is when you become true Shravak. You take those those bar vrat, Shravakna bar vrat. So you start taking those vrat and you start taking, like, you start following the path that is going to take you. So 5th is a very important state. And then 6, on 6 you become true ascetic. So nothing but I am just going to use this path to achieve moksha. And then 7 to 12, it's just going up, doing more and more tapasya and taking more and more vows. And you keep going up and up and up. Yeah? So that's it. Now, there is this 9, 10, and 11. Sometimes, as we talked about, if the mithyatva monia karmas are not destructive, but they are suppressed, then they can come to the fruition at the state of, like, when you are at the stage 9. Yeah?
11.
9. At 9. No. No, you. That is when you have, like, you know, what happens here at 9 is the your lobe that goes last. So you've got little bit of lobe in you, yeah, and that is when you start going that side. 9, 10, and 11. And when you, and from there 11 you come down to completely like 2 or 1. Yeah? So that is, on that stage is your lobe that is still there and it can come to fruition. Okay? And then 10 and, so from 11, as you are saying, from 11 you can go right up to 13. Yeah? So that the Kshin Moha, that stage which is Kshin Moh, there is still a little bit of Moh within you, and that can bring you down.
My point was that from 11 you'd fall back,
Yeah.
and you'd only go from 10th onwards to 12 and straight. But if you don't come to 11,
Yeah.
you want to go up and up. But if you come to 11, you're bound to fall back.
Yeah, so the stage 11 is Suksma Moha. Yeah, that is why you can see it's not the same color. It's been
11th is Upshant Moni. Upshant Moni means
So-
cloudy moon.
yeah, cloud. Yes, that's right. But so there are two stages that chances are there you can fall back. Yeah, okay. So there it is lobe, and there it is Kshin Mo. Mo goes last. Yeah, is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is just the self-evolution. So what do you think? What stage are we all at?
4.
Yeah. Sort of. Between 4 and 5. Yeah. This is just like, you keep...
I'd say we are number 1.
No, then you won't be here.
Yes.
It's difficult, but anyway.
Well, I don't know, like, if you're physically only here and, you're... then it's different. Which is hard for me to judge.
At least you think you should come
Yes.
and listen, because like yesterday I was talking to one friend, our samba, when they do like this, that means they are not still in this
Fourth stage.
And
Yeah.
so at least you feel,
Yeah. And I've been seeing you most of the time you're coming, so... You have like, this is my, this is the way. Yes.
At the beginning you said that faith is important,
Mhm.
but faith doesn't have to be Jainism.
Yes.
So for example, if somebody's practicing a different faith, but they have faith in whatever they're practicing, where would faith fit into this?
We're coming to it in a little while. Because as we said, right dharma, right guru, and right practice. So I'm just going to go into detail with all those 3, then you will know. Okay? So yes.
You also mentioned that from 11 or 10 you can go down to level 1 and 2 as well.
Yes, it's possible.
So that's Bhairatma. You go completely down that means.
Yes, you can. So you can go from like, middle stage to first stage as well. So 11 is middle stage. You can go to the first stage. You can again go, and we have so many examples in our Agam. There are so many have taken Diksha, they were all the way up, and though sometimes that Mo or sometimes that lobe comes into fruition and that brings them down. But for them, yeah,
they matches with the subsidy,
Yes.
the game room is
exactly,
second ladder.
exactly,
That's
exactly. Yeah.
Second ladder.
Yeah. So, but having said that, for them to come up again doesn't take long either,
Yeah.
because they have already the taste of those stages, so they can come back. Okay? Shall we move on to the next one? Yes. Do you have some question?
No, fine.
No?
Just
Okay. Perfect.
one, this
Yes.
more karma. It's so difficult because
It is.
we are in this sansar
Mm-hmm.
and we have family,
Mm-hmm.
children, grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
How can one give that up?
By practice.
Because you're never going to say, you're never not going to love the grandchildren.
But do you think that
Will last.
once those who have taken Diksha and who those are sadhus, do you think they don't have more?
They.
Of course.
They have the more till the 12th Sthana.
Yeah, up to 12 sthanak, where they are doing so much tapasya. Mo is the very, very difficult. Like they say, Monya karma is the karma no raja che.
King of the
Yeah.
karmas.
Yeah, king of the
Yeah,
karma.
yeah.
Yeah, so it is difficult, but it's even when you are in sansar. For example, I would just give you one example. Okay, you want to cut down your moh. Start like observing all the situations rather than getting involved in them. That will take you a little further. For example,
this is all attachment is temporary.
Yes.
So when you think
Yeah. Yeah.
so try to be aware.
Yeah.
So what more is with the monks and nuns, and what more can they be affected by?
You know, we all are human beings. We live with some people for some time.
So they get it.
You get attached. Yeah?
I think
So,
it's
and
the
the
feelings.
example I would give, yes sir,
It's the feelings.
is the feelings.
Everybody has a feeling,
Yeah.
and obviously sometimes those feelings, it slips.
This is what,
It lets it go. I think.
that is why we say that the very first stage to go up is start observing yourself all the time. Be the observer. The minute you try and get involved in the situation, that's when your moh starts building. I'll just give you one simple example. Like, if anything happens to my daughter or my son, I'm like, I start feeling, oh my God, why does it have to happen to him? Do I feel the same when those children on the street, poor children sometimes don't get the food even? Why don't I have the same feeling for them?
Attached to them.
Because I'm attached to them. So this should bring you the thought in your mind that the more I'm going to have that attachment, yeah, because from lives and lives we have been building that moh with some people or some things, and that keeps on coming to the fruition. That is why, okay, my daughter is sick, my son is sick. That's his karma. Having said that, I must give them love, I must be supportive to them, but that feeling within us, my, that is what we need to work at.
I think
Yeah,
the way I look at it,
yeah,
if you are in your present situation, I think that should help.
that also helps, yes, that really helps, that I am here in this situation. I want to do whatever the best I can. It doesn't have to be my own family member, or doesn't have to be whoever.
So
Yeah.
compassion is not really monia karma.
No. Compassion, that's why Bhagwan said ahimsa, but Bhagwan didn't say don't have compassion. Hinsa na karo, pan tame love, give your love to other people. Yeah?
In fact, you should have enough compassion.
You must have
Must have
compassion.
compassion.
You must have. Do you think why did Bhagwan tell us all these things if he didn't have any compassion for us? Yeah? Compassion has to be there.
In action.
Okay? So shall we move on to the next one? Here, we've been through. Yeah, okay. Now this Samyaktva has been categorized in so many different ways. I have taken only one here, which is categorized as Nishchay Samyaktva, and the next one is Vyavhar Samyaktva. Okay? So the real standpoint and the practical standpoint. Samyaktva, as I said, has been described in, but this is the most important category of Samyaktva. So now when we are talking about Nishchay Samyaktva, what is the meaning of Samyaktva is right faith, as we have seen. The real is Nishchay. The right faith is an inner reason of yours, as we talked about it initially, that it is there within us. It's been covered with all the karmas. Okay? So Nishchay Samyaktva is oriented towards its primary experiential. When we experience that is when only you realize it. It is very, very hard to put it in words, Nishchay Samyaktva. Okay? Although we have tried to explain it, but it is more of your own experience. Okay? Now the right faith is the Samyaktva. The Samyaktva is the inbuilt quality of all the soul. It is there in all the soul. Okay? Now by taking the refuge externally in right, Dev, Guru and Dharma are just the material cause, which is Vyavhar Samyaktva. Okay? So this sutra, when we say, is just the Vyavhar Samyaktva. Okay? It's just a material cause. And why do we do all this? Because one day it will take us to the real Samyaktva. Just the same way as dual and non-dual obeisance, okay? Now the story from Agam, there's a really good story from Agam. There was this Shravak, his name is Arhanak. Now he is a big trader as well. In those days when, this story is from our Tirthankar Malinath Bhagwan. Now he was a big trader, and one day he decides that he wants to, they used to travel by ship in those days, so he decided, okay, I want to go from this country to the other country and earn lot more money. So they are traveling by the ship, and he was very well known for his faith in Jainism, okay? So there was this Dev, he wanted to taste it, that people talk about him so much. Let me go and taste him. Does he really have a real faith in Jainism? So what he does, while they were traveling on the ship, he started throwing all the, he showered all the very horrible things on that ship, and he started moving the ship, and everybody on the ship thought that they were going to die. It was going to sink. Yeah. So then that Dev takes another form, and he says that, look, you are all going to die in just 10-15 minutes. The only way I can save you is you all give up your own religion. So everybody thought, okay, if that's the way we are going to be saved, they said, okay, we will follow you now on, and we will give up whatever we believe in. So then they saw that this Arhanak was still, as soon as he saw all this was happening, he started doing, he sat in his samayik, and he started doing all whatever the religious things he wanted to do, he started doing it. And all the people came to him, stop doing all this, because we are going to sink in another 10-15 minutes. So this Dev is asking us to stop and believe him. And this Arhanak was so much engrossed in his samayik that he ignored everybody. And then they started shaking him and telling him, stop. And then he said, this is within me. It is there. How can I just tell my own soul that, okay, this is wrong? So the right faith is like that. Once it is there in your soul, you cannot just get rid of it. So it is a virtue of our own soul. Yeah? So he carried on and on and on. He said, okay, whatever you want to do, you believe him, let me do what I want to do. And he continued. So that, of course, they got really pleased with him, with his faith and all that. And he said, okay, I was just testing you because you are well known for your faith. Okay? And then he gives him some earrings, and those earrings were given to Malinath Bhagwan. Yeah? So this is a story which is very old from one of our Agam. That's why I thought I'll just mention it to you, that it is not like Vyavhar, from Vyavhar point of view that he had adopted, but it was there in his own soul. Okay? So now we come to the Vyavhar point, which is a practical standpoint, which is you and me are following. Okay? So now the practical right faith incorporates with faith in God, Guru, and hence, as I said, the picture shows that this is what we all believe in. It is proven from the external viewpoint only. Okay? It's just we think that right Guru, right Dev, and right Dharma is the one which is going to take me to moksha. So then we take this vow that Arhantas are my God, The virtuous ascetics are my gurus, and the religion prescribed by the Jina is my religion. This is what we keep telling ourselves. Okay? So now we need to know who is right God, who is right Guru, who is religion. This will answer your question. Okay? So now let's look at the who is Arhanta, who is God. A person who has reached the highest stage of knowledge, vision and conduct. They have all the knowledge. As we say, once they have Keval Gnana, they can see everything. So they are we must believe that they are the right God for me, who is free from worldly. So they have no attachment to any worldly affairs. Yeah? And then who is the direct seer of no and knower of past, present and future by virtue of his Keval Gnan and Keval Darshan. They already have both the qualities. That is why they are my right Guru. Yeah? Now Jain religion states that only that great being is the Arhanta Dev, who is devoid of the 18 sins. Now why? Again, because they don't have all these things that you and me and everybody has got. Now first 5, if you say Dhanantarai, Lavantarai, Bhoga, so they have already destroyed their Antrai Karma. I believe all of you know what is Antrai Karma. Antrai Karma is something that you and me want to do it, but sometimes we cannot do it. Yeah? Like for example, every Sunday I want to come and listen to Samiji, but there are Sundays that I cannot make it, even though it's something that, I know that it's going to take me further on my spiritual path, but I can't. So that is my Antrai Karma, which is stopping me to come here. Okay? So like that, Dhanantarai, like sometimes you want to give something away, but you can't. There is something that is, it's a hindrance that is stopping. Yeah? So like that, the first 5, Dhanantarai, Lavantarai, Bhogantarai, and as I have explained that which obstructs charity, that which obstructs the gains of any kind, that which so Arhat Dev does not have all this in them, because they have destroyed their Antrai Karma. So the first 5, okay? And then they do not have any likes or dislikes or mockery, hatred, fear, lust, ignorance, sleep, unawakened state, obeisance to vows, attachment, aversion, worry, or deluded vision. Of course, they will not have deluded vision because they have got Keval Gnan. Yeah? So they are without all these 18 sins. So that God who does not have all these does not have to be Arhant, but they can be your God. Okay? And now we look at Guru as what sort of qualities do we have to have as a guru, like to find the right Guru. So the very first is Nirgrantha. The word is only very, very important. What is Nirgrantha? Those who do not have Granthi. What is Granthi? Prejudice. No matter what happens in their life, they do not have any Granthi against anything, any person or whatever. And that is why they are called Nirgrantha. Okay? So all the sadhvitis, everybody is called Nirgrantha because they give up their family, whatever they want to, and they do not have any attachment. Okay? So the Guru has to be Nirgrantha. You accept them as your Guru once they are Nirgrantha. Those who are strictly following the path, such as follows great 5 vows, equanimity towards big and small creatures, it's just enough for by receiving alms, follow the vow of. So all this is that they are not in samsara. Yeah. So these have to be the virtues of the right Guru. Doesn't mean that it has to be a Jain Guru. Okay. So those who have these qualities are the right Guru. Yes.
This in the modern sense, really, some of the gurus or nuns and monks, they can't follow because,
Correct.
as they say,
You're very right.
You know,
Very good
It's
question.
accepted, isn't it?
Yes,
You have
very
to change with the times.
Yes. So this is why this is Vyavhar. So we have to just compare that, okay, this has been prescribed in our agams, but in today's day and age, how much? Because some niches are here, they are not walking by foot, yeah? But the things that they teach us, yeah? So we have to go as per whatever we think, although they are using car and everything, but the things they are teaching us, yeah, it is taking our soul from this state to the higher state, isn't it? Yeah. So these things are written because I must follow whatever is written, whatever the sutra says. Okay, but it is,
You know,
yeah,
Samyaktva are here
yes,
because it's to spread the message
yes,
and to teach us all this.
yes.
If they were not here, obviously.
How are we all going to know? So for me, yes, they are my guru because it is from whatever state I am, they are taking me further. So guru is like whoever is taking you a little further. Yeah? So not necessarily that they have
And
everything.
also, if they were to take, diksha from, for argument's sake, they would not be traveling
Yes.
anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That means they are here to, help us go on the right path.
Yes.
Having said that, say like, Unata Pragyaji, and,
She
went
took
back,
diksha now.
she took diksha,
Yeah.
and she will now follow Panch Mahabharat, forever.
Actually, Acharya Gurudev Tulsi, he made these
Provisions.
exemptions, provisions
Yes.
for them to travel
Yeah.
because he found that a lot of there was so much obstacles around the world and a lot of people.
Yeah.
They need some kind of guidance and the right path.
Yeah.
That's how, in fact, we are fortunate that they are here to guide us on the right path.
Yeah.
When Chitravan, first he came out,
Yeah.
he had to go out the back doors of the
So-
airplane.
Correct. But he can still be guru, isn't it? Because how much he taught other people, isn't it? And the very a simple example I would give is like somebody can be very, very like a very good professor in science, okay? Like he's teaching all the medicines and everything. Is he any good to me? No, I have not reached that stage yet. Yeah? So why do we have to look for all those qualities as long as some qualities are matching to me? He's my guru. Yeah? And in this life I don't know if I'm going to go right up to the end. Yeah? So now we are going to look at the right religion. Okay? So what is the true religion? Is it Jain Dharma? No. By which the inner space is purified. Maro Atma, my soul is being purified with whatever dharma that I am following. Yeah? Then the passions and the karmic layer over the soul are destroyed. Qualities of the self are enhanced. The soul must attain liberation from all sufferings and attain the eternal, immortal state. A religion such as Jain Dharma is steeped in all this, what we all know about this, right? And that is why we are following Jainism. This does not mean, so this definitely we know that it will take us. And our vision has been open to this so much that we don't need to go and look for any other religion. But having said that, that doesn't mean there are so many saints who are, like even today, they are meditating in Himalayas and all that. So, the path is the same, to realize your own soul. That will take you to moksha, whichever way you realize it. Okay? So this is the right religion we talked about. And now, what is the right faith? How do we recognize a person? So now that we have talked about all three things right, we need to see like a person who has got the right faith, so that we learn some more things from them. But we already talked about it. It is more experience than just the virvarma, right faith. Yeah. So how do we recognize a person who is in the state of Samyaktva in the practical world? So the Agams have described 5 qualities in a person in this state, okay, which is samved, nirved, anukampa and astik. So first of all, tranquility, sam. So he is just very, very calm in any situation. He treats it exactly the same. Okay? So I had written one example for it, which is just doesn't come to me. Right. Okay. It is difficult. It's difficult for us to judge, but he is in equanimity all the time, as Kashai have been shunned and have been replaced with so. Their growth, their anger has been replaced with forgiveness. Their love, which is greed, has been replaced with contentment. Their ego, which has been replaced with respect, and their deceit, which is Maya, has been replaced with straightforwardness. So if we see these 4 qualities in a person, then we can say he has attained Samyaktva. But as I said, it is very, very difficult. Okay? And the person do not say it himself either, that he has achieved Samyaktva. This is the very first step of achieving moksha. Once we get Samyaktva, as we talked, we follow the right charitra and then we get to moksha. Okay? But these are the qualities that the person will have. Okay? Now, number 2, which is samved, spiritual craving. He does not want to know anything else. He has found the right path and he just wants to follow that. Okay? So that is samved. And ved, if you like, understand some of the Gujarati, ved means, we want to get somewhere very fast. Ved. Yeah? So some ved, he wants to get there very fast. He doesn't want to know anything else around him. He has no other things to think about. Okay? Then nirved, this state for the temporal world. He has no interest in the world at all. Okay? He just wants to give up everything and go on to his path. Anukampa, compassion. So it's like, they say there are some souls who do not feel sorry for any other creature. Yeah? But this person has anukampa, is so far, like for him, if he's suffering from anything, he has no importance for it, but he wants to go and help the people who are suffering. Yeah? So that much anukampa they have towards the other living beings. Okay? And then is astike, which is unwavering. They have faith, total. Okay? So these are the 5 qualities once somebody has achieved Samyaktva. That's what we mentioned that. Okay? And then we go on to Mithyatva, which is, now when we talked about the right faith all this time, we must know the Mithyatva, which is the deluded faith as well. I don't know if we are short of time. I probably won't go through everything, but it's there, which is like 10 types of Mithyatva. When we do Pratikraman, we say 25 types of Mithyatva. So these are in short, but they are all 25 types of Mithyatva, which is wrong faith. Okay? So to refuse and acknowledge the righteous person, to grant the status of monks to those who give in to the temptation of wealth just because they are attired as monks, to be rooted in untruth and consider 10 lakhs. So this 10 Lakshana Dharma is again like, the Gambas, they celebrate how we celebrate Paryushan. They celebrate 10 different types of virtues every single day, like humanity, speak the truth and things like that. Okay? So, and to consider the non-soul as soul. And you know, like we say, Janama, wherever there is soul, they think there is no soul in them. It's like, for example, like, you know, some people eat meat and they think, okay, because the chicken or whatever has been already cut, then there is no soul in there, and then they will eat. Yeah, so that is all mithyatva, and then they consider the non-soul as the soul sometimes. Okay, so it's vice versa, everything. To consider wrong path as the right path and the right path as the wrong path. To consider that which is inclusive of karma as a devoid of karma, and which is devoid of karma, they feel that it is inclusive of karma. Okay, so these are the 10 types of different mithyattvas, which is, mithyatva is wrong faith. Okay, and then okay, now I've almost finished. Do you have any questions before I finish this session? Anybody? I've already given you questions, but in case.
Just about food.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things that Jains don't eat
Mm-hmm.
or shouldn't eat.
Yes.
Did it come later after all these Agams and Mahavir? Because a lot of things were grown sort of away from India and then reintroduced, and then they say you mustn't have that.
Yeah.
So was it a rule in even Mahavir's time?
So Bhagwan Mahavir said, try and minimize when you eat something. Try and minimize, like, you know, whatever is living being. He wouldn't pinpoint. It's like, you know, they say, okay, he never said, do not drink. Did he say that? No, he didn't say that. But he said that you have to have the right frame of mind. Now, when you drink, would you have a right frame of mind? In the same way, the food is not like, he wouldn't say, don't eat this, don't eat that, don't eat this. He will just say, when you are eating, try and minimize as much you can. Yeah, it's like you and me probably eat vegetables and everything, but you have seen some niches. So the reason behind it is that we want to minimize, because the food we take is just to keep us going, just to be alive and do as much dharma as we can while we have this body. So the food is mainly for the body, which is also very important to go a little further on our path. Yeah, but it doesn't have to be that food that is, you know, going to harm so many living beings. You can make do without that as well. So to answer your question, Bhagwan Mahavir never sat and said, don't eat this, don't eat that, he didn't name anything, just generally that try and eat wherever you can minimize the himsa.
Yeah, for example, our own Navnath Center,
Yeah,
I mean, they don't bother about that. Everything like onion, potatoes, it's there. Kitchen committee, they all make it.
but that's a community center.
So that's okay.
It has nothing to do with the
It's up
religion.
to us.
But
It is up to me.
It's giving you a choice at the same time, you know,
Yes.
whether you want to eat or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
If you don't want to eat, there's always a Jain option there. So
Yeah.
I believe it's what, you know,
There is a Jain
that's where your
community.
faith is.
No, Navnath is not only Jain.
Mixture.
It is 9 different communities put together. It's called Navnath. They are not only Jain. So there are Vaishnavas, and who do not believe in it.
For that matter, even a non-Jain can practice Jainism.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You need to
Definitely.
understand that for you to go for.
And I think also every Sunday, when after the talk, Swamijis give us a tyag. Take, do.
The-
So that's one part of, minimizing your intakes.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah,
any other questions? Yeah.
What can one do to sort of strengthen and cultivate deeper faithfulness? Because like sometimes when you encounter challenges and difficulties in life, there's a tendency just to kind of, doubt things, to have doubts and, to waver in faith as well. there anything else somebody can do to, is it through meditation or what practical?
Yeah, that is why it's practical. We have our faith.
Yeah.
For us, that is the tool at the moment because we do not have the real faith as yet, which is from within our soul. And that is why we have, like, come to Samyaji's. They can strengthen your faith. And it has happened, I mean, in my life it has happened to me that, I was like, should I do it or no? And they are very good guide to us. Yeah, because their soul is much higher than us. So that's what I would say. Yeah, because at least you have developed that one thing that this will take me somewhere. Yeah, so I would say stick to it and try to find the answer from religion, those who are higher than us. It will take you further.
Just one final
Yes.
thing. Is milk considered okay?
Milk consumption. It was okay so far, but now that they, because they want to produce more and more milk, they are like, troubling the cows so much more than before. Before it was just natural that, they would just take out as much was needed.
That was
but-
all allowed, okay.
No, some
It's
people
not being, it's not that it is not allowed. I wouldn't say it is not allowed. It is up to you. You feel that they are troubling the cows so much.
That's
Sorry,
where,
I don't want to
that's
do
where
that.
compassion comes in.
That's where the
Compassion.
compassion comes
I mean,
in.
So
If
people
Sorry,
you
are
have
having-
compassion, then you
people are turning
yourself
vegan.
would not drink milk.
That's the reason and another scientific, they have proved now that in those days we were thinking milk is must. It is very important for us to have milk. But now science has developed that it is not as important.
No, but you have other options of
Other
milk,
options
like
as well.
oats milk.
Yeah, that's what we are doing now.
Yeah.
But by drinking cow's milk, and there's so much violence
Yes.
amongst with cows,
Mm.
are we binding karma by drinking cow's milk? Are we becoming part of it because we are supporting it?
Definitely. We
So
are.
We are
We
binding,
are being part of
But
it.
I mean, 90% of Jains, they do drink cow's milk. But when you try and explain this point to them,
Yeah.
they said, I can't give up milk. I must have milk.
Oh, they don't have the enough compassion, isn't it?
Well, I asked the same question to Samyaji Hina Prabhuji when she was here. I asked her the same question and she said that you shouldn't really, but she still,
Sorry?
she herself still takes milk. Samyaji.
Because of our health
Uh-huh.
reasons.
Because of the health. So that is what I'm saying. But on the other hand, she's probably having milk, but she has given up so many other things. Have we? Have
Yeah.
me and you done it? So it's
Yeah.
balance as well, isn't it? Yeah.
Or just have whatever you needed, like
Correct.
not extra things. Like
Yeah.
તમને બહુ જેવું હોય
Yeah.
તો just have tea but બીજું બધું છોડી દો.
Biju, that's what I'm
Whatever.
saying. Try and compensate.
But then
If
lot
it's
of,
something.
because there's a lot of debate going on now because of this veganism, cows, milk, and this
Yeah.
violence.
Yeah.
There is a lot of big debates going on,
Mm.
and people from outside of Jainism, they are questioning Jains, us. If you believe in ahimsa, that is one of your main principles, then why are you supporting this? Why are you drinking cow's milk? Why are you supporting this? That's a lot of violence. It's unimaginable. If you go and see the slaughterhouses,
Yes, slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
you because they are kept hidden.
Yes.
You are not public is not allowed to go
Yeah.
there. Nobody knows what's going on there.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of things going on in there. If you see it with your own eyes, you will not
you
believe it.
wouldn't like it.
You will just
Yeah.
you will give up everything. At that time,
It's
you
so
will be
true.
willing to give up everything.
Yeah.
And there is a lot. Even there is somebody, an American lady. She has
Mm.
written a book
Yes.
on
how they are taking
how
the milk
this
out from
how
these
not only cows,
yeah.
but how other animals are treated, like
Treated.
sheep, pigs,
Yes.
just for our food.
Yeah.
I mean, she has also questioned that there's a big mindset gap.
Yeah.
We will knowing Jains, I'm talking about people who will eat beef, cows meat, they will eat beef. But if you put dog's meat or
They won't.
horse's meat, they will not eat that.
Correct.
So always the logic.
No,
Exactly.
And somebody had sent me a clip I was watching today about this cow. Cow is also one part of a human being.
It is. It's
This
got five
particular
senses. It's a
cow,
five-sensed animal.
She has, she had given a birth to a baby calf. And then the guy was nursing it and doing cooking. The mother started touching the man, giving her love and affection. You could see that the cow also has human values.
Of course, they're the
Yeah.
same as
Yeah.
our human babies.
Yeah.
Because then what is
Emotional
happening now?
Yeah.
What is happening?
When
Their
it
babies are being snatched within 12 hours. The cows are taken away from them.
Yeah.
The cow, yeah.
So-
It's not only the cow, you see this in all the animals, all the
Pigs.
living beings. The other day somebody sent me that a lion, that he was so attached to this one human being that he wouldn't, until he saw, that he was on his last stage, and the minute he saw the person that he was attached to, that's when only he could let go of his own, whatever, how he died. So it's not only the cows, every living being has that bit of compassion. Yeah? So it's
But
really
it's
up to
happening
you how
more with
we
the cows
balance
than
it.
other animals
Yeah.
because cows are slaughtered more than any other animals.
And that
more
is
than
true.
Any other animal.
Yeah.
And the saddest part is that when the calves are born, they are taken away from the mother.
Mhm.
Now, would you imagine our human being babies being taken away by somebody else after
Yeah.
birth? How would the mother feel? The same, they
Exactly.
have the same feelings. The cows have the same feelings.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
they cry about it.
Yes, yeah. And like they say, net that in cow's stomach there are 33 crore devtas
Devtas.
are there. Yeah, that's what they
But
say.
this is a big debate. We can talk all about
Yeah.
it for the whole
Yes,
session, but I
it
think
Maybe
Yeah.
we'll cut it
but-
short
but-
there.
Yeah.
And time is marching on.
Time is marching
Are
on,
we going
that's
to
right.
continue
So,
next week, Subhash?
I will
So-
just announce in a minute.
So, this is my question to you. Do we really need to utter this sutra every day? Samyaktva Sutra. Yeah? In the beginning, we already accepted the right Dev, Guru and Dharma, and that is why we are here. Okay? Then why again? Why do we have to keep on saying this sutra every day? Is there a new Samyaktva being adopted every day? Are we saying every day, okay, I've adopted this person as my guru or this as my dharma? Why? Why do we have to say this every time we do pratikraman? Or in some matter, sometimes this sutra has been uttered even while you are doing samai. Why do we have to say it every day? Once we have decided, okay, these are my right guru, this is my right dharma, this is the right God. So why do we have to keep on saying it?
Keep you reminding every. Is it to keep you reminding every time? આપણે આગા પાછા ના થઈ જાય.
Exactly.
Right, but
Yeah,
maybe.
the more we say it, it reminds us that I have to work to realize my soul, I have to work towards this. And that is why. Although we know that it is there, yeah, we have accepted this right, everything right, but just to remind ourselves, because we are human, we are still in sansar.
Yeah.
That's the reason we keep on reciting this every day. Okay? So that is the end of it. Thank you very much for
Thank you.
listening. And I was going to do a little bit of meditation with this, but I think we are running out of time. So thank you all,
Thank you.
everybody, and
Thank you.
Thank you.
All the
Omar.
details
Omar.
પછી તમારું ક્યાંય વાંચવા મળે પાછું
Yeah.
પાછું.
yeah, if you give me your
Yeah.
email address, I will just
No,
email
we-
it to
we-
you.
He has recorded everything.
No, they want to
Okay,
yeah.
the slides. If you
Yes.
want to.
Yes.
Go through it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I've been asked somewhere else as well. So if you all give your email address, I will just send it to you.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jai Jai.
Joe